Yep, that's a mess. More mess. Alright guys, welcome back to Horseplay Motoring. Sorry if you're getting a lot of wind. We got a crazy overcast day, but it's nice and cool. I'm sitting out here waiting for my grill to warm up. Even though it's windy as hell, I gotta have my barbecue chicken, man. Fat boy's gotta have barbecue. That's all there is to it. So, this video is going to be a leak that I've been having really bad, and you'll see probably in the little intro piece there how bad it's been leaking. And thankfully we got that solved. This is a temporary fix. This is not a permanent fix, but I just wanted to show y'all things to look out for, because the bottom of my transmission is covered in fluid, and I think there was no way that little leak could cause all that. But you got to think, sometimes you park on a decline, sometimes you park on an incline, you're driving, the way the wind moves, the fluid has a chance to go every which way. And there ain't no telling how long it's been leaking. I noticed within the past week or so, when I'd put it in reverse, it would back up, and when I put it in forward, there was a delay, like, before I'd finally go. So, like I said, I hadn't been driving it. This is parked when we've been driving the SUV, and that's when it started leaving the big puddles everywhere. So, just a little tip though. I have my charcoal grill here. When I clean out the stuff, I put it down on the oil slick down here, and what that does is it helps dry it up. It's like a, it helps like kitty litter, but I mean, hell, I grill out all the time, and that's free ash that will help suck that stuff up. So that might sometimes I care what I look like, sometimes I don't. Sometimes this place looks like white trash, and I just don't have the energy to do anything, and sometimes I'm out here and mowing and cleaning up the yard and trying to make it look good. So, but I don't like stains anywhere, especially under my car, because hell, I get too many stains I pull up. I don't know what's new and what's old after a while. I'm rumbling at this point. Hope y'all enjoy the video. Alright guys, you can't really tell it from this picture or from this video. That is transmission fluid. That is transmission fluid. And there's a little bit more back here. So basically, the car hasn't been being drove a lot. Now mind you, that's not as big as the puddles are. I've been spraying it with some Purple Power degreaser every day. Also been spraying the transmission, trying to figure out this leak, and I think I finally got it figured out. So I got it up. Yes, the ramps like that act as just a secondary precaution. There is a jack stand under the car, and then I have the jack as well. The issue I'm having, alright, pardon this because I don't have a lot of room and I'm trying to film with one hand. See the wetness around here? So I thought it was my oil pan gasket, or my transmission pan gasket, and you see how it kind of goes around, but if you look over there, it's dry, which is not uncommon for a gasket to leak in one spot. But then I got to noticing directly on the ground, underneath the pan, the majority of the drips was coming from one area. Now, the car's leaked out most of the transmission fluid, but if this was full of transmission fluid, this puddle right here, straight down, would be the biggest part, and it would just spread from there. Now, if you look up in there, can you see my dipstick tube right there? Yeah. So all that moisture right there, that's from the transmission fluid, because when the transmission fluid is full, even when it's turned off, it's past the level of the dipstick. A lot of people don't realize that. You ever want to check this, turn it off and check the transmission fluid, and it'll be high. That's why they say check it with it running and park it, or in neutral. So it leaks out right here, and you can see the majority of the wetness. Now that'll leak down, it'll walk around here, it'll, wherever it decides to flow out of, that's where it comes, and it covers your oil pan, or your transmission pan, sorry, and it just makes for a nightmare. So I came out every day, soaked the bottom with Purple Power, drove it around. That's what some of the other grime is, just from me wetting it and then driving it. And then I'd come back and soak it again after it was hot, and all the drips was coming from there straight down to here. So the issue now that I'm having is I have to follow this up, and there's a bolt that holds that up, but I can't see it from the top or the bottom. But people get to it, so obviously I can get to it. I just got to figure out how, and I've been told it's a 14 millimeter, so I got to figure that out. Causing all of that havoc is this right here. This is a specific O-ring. From what I've read online, you cannot just bring it to a parts store and match it up. They're either too big, too small, they're never right. I went to a Ford dealership and got this for $1.07. Had I been thinking, I should have got 5 or 6 of them, because they had 9 in stock and I would have always had them. But after doing some research, this is a pretty common thing on these cars after a while. And mine's, 22 years old, so things dry out, things get brittle, things leak. So I'm going to attempt to get in there, and if I can figure that bolt out and take this out, and it is the 31st, so I can't be out here all day because we got some trick-or-treating to do tonight. But yes, this I'll leave the Ford part number down below so you can get this. I did take the Ford part number to various part stores, and they can't match it up. Online, this is like $5 with $10 shipping for this little thing here. So like I said, I went straight to the Ford dealership over here in Daytona. It was $1.07. Alright guys, I have a confession to make. I found the bolt, and let me get this on it, and I'll see if I can show y'all exactly where it is. You see my socket down there? The bolt's right there. Okay, and I know y'all can't see it, but you have to trust me on it. It's right there. Now this is the dipstick tube that comes up. The bracket comes over. It's right there. For the life of me, I cannot get to that. I do not have a 13 millimeter wrench for some reason. I have everything but a 13 millimeter. I do not know where it is. I've tried to come in from the top right here, and it's right down there. I tried to get it from there. I can't. Tried to get it from the bottom. I can't. So the next repair that I will do in an attempt to get it to stop is my redneck repair, in which I clean it the best I can, 100% no residue if I can, and I'm going to RTV it for now. Guys, I ran up to Advance and got this Permatex here, but I got the one for automatic transmission because it is made to work with their transmission fluids. The transmission fluid is pretty corrosive, and it won't eat it away. So I'm gonna put this on there, and then it is almost noon right now, so I'm gonna put it on there and go hop in the shower, and then I won't touch it again until about 1 o'clock tomorrow, so I can see, let it cure a full 24 hours and add the fluid and go from there. But it does look like my seat brackets and stuff are in. I don't know what the other little box is, so we'll have to see, but looks like my seat brackets are here.
The next day.
Alright guys, it is quite a bit longer, about 27-28 hours I think, and it hasn't leaked any from here. Now the car is tilted and I don't have it filled to level, but the only drip I have is from the leftover when I sprayed the Royal Purple, and it was off over on this side, which was dry yesterday, so that's why I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to take my jack stand out and remove this ramp, lower it, start it, add fluid, and let's see if because I'm in a spot where if I have a new leak, I'll be able to tell. So we will go from there, and hopefully. I accidentally hit the stop button. You can see the rust up there from where the old intake was leaking. I don't know what I would spray on that to get it away, like some CLR or something, but anyway, let's hope it's not the pan gasket. If it is, it's not a huge deal. It's a lot easier to get to that pan gasket than it is that dipstick tube. piece up there. But alright guys, so we're gonna mess with this. One of the things I did do before I put the RTV on it is I pushed this down as far as I could get it. So I'm gonna pull it out and check the transmission fluid with it off to show y'all that it's not even registering on the stick at that point. Alright guys, with the car idling with it in park, I should be able to pull this out and that in right there. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus. See that H, that's hot. That C is for cold, for when you check it cold. There's a little C right there. I don't know how well y'all can see it at the end of my thumb. That C should be all the way up when it's cold. So I'm going to add until I get to that level at this point. You got to remember, you add at this point. So when you check it again, you got to check it 3 or 4 times to make sure, because you could be just dragging it back through that fluid that's in the tube. So give it time to go down and then check it 3 or 4 times. Alright, don't know how well I can see that, but there's not very much fluid on the end of the stick. But if you turn it over, there's fluid all the way up in the H. You can see it's darker right there. That's a good indication that you're just dragging it through fluid, because if it was the fluid level, it would be all the way around the same level. It wouldn't be high on one side and low on the other side. That just means you're dragging it through fluid that's existing in the tube from where you added. Alright guys, I don't know how well you can see that. It's up to temperature. And I got it where it's about there on the full mark. I'm leaving that little bit of space because this is on a very slight decline. So when I bring the butt up, level up, it'll level out up there. So we should be good on all that. I'm going to see if it leaks, and then I'll take it on some test drives and go from there. Alright guys, as you can tell, that is the old stain. That is an old stain. You can see how big it is. But since I did the repair, the only drip I have is the one over there that is new. Is nothing. This one right there and there are from when I cleaned it off. The drip would be coming from right there, and you can tell now it is dry above it. The drip would run down the pan and it would be directly on the ground right here, which it is not. Like I said, the only little drops are from when I cleaned it. It would have already looked like this big stain right here, or that one right there, by now. I don't know why my phone decided it ain't gonna focus, but yeah, see how big that was? So that RTV has fixed my leak, thankfully. So that could save you quite a bit. Alright guys, so as y'all can tell in that video, it was leaking pretty good, leaving big puddles. This is day 3 now since I did the repair. Since the fully cure, it's been 2 days now since the fully cure of the RTV, and there is no new drops, no new nothing. I don't know. I crawled underneath the car and showed y'all the next night where it wasn't leaking. It's still not leaking. So I'm very happy with that. I did use some ATF that had some stuff in it for seals, and that might help the dipstick tube seal, sorry. But I've noticed with my dipstick tube, before I repaired it, you could grab the dipstick tube and move it around, and I think that movement is just where it comes unseated, and that's where the seal gets loose. If I could get a 13mm to get to that bolt, I could probably tighten it down super tight and never have a problem out of it again. But if I can get to it, I'm going to loosen it up and replace the seal and get it done right. I mean, I still have the seal laying up there. So anyways guys, I know this wasn't much, but I'm hoping it helps somebody out, because looking at the forums and stuff, this is a very common issue for these cars. It's a very common issue for Ford, period. the 470 and the 75, I think it is, transmission for that dipstick tube to leak. So, like I said, hope it helps somebody out. Appreciate y'all watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next video where I'll do some unboxing and might do some weight loss stuff to this car. I don't know. See y'all then.
I won't turn around, I done made it this far. Look back now, that wouldn't be too smart. Shoot for the stars even when it gets hard. Put my faith in the Lord with the 16 bars. I won't turn around, I done made it this far. Look back now, that wouldn't be too smart. Shoot for the stars even when it gets hard. Put my faith in the Lord with the 16 bars. I won't turn around.